Let's read Chapter 10, Reptiles, Cold-Blooded Scaly Vertebrates. You can follow along with me if you'd like. Hello, boys and girls. As you can see, Anna Anaconda is our starting place for today's lesson. She is a green anaconda, one of the largest snakes in the world. When she unwinds, she is about as long as 6 of you stretched head to toe across the room, and she weighs about 500 pounds. That's more than about 8 of you put together. Anna Anaconda belongs to a group of animals that shares a lot of the same characteristics as the other amphibians you learned about last time. Who knows the name of the group used by taxonomists to classify snakes? Yes, snakes are reptiles. Reptiles include crocodiles, alligators, lizards, turtles, and tortoises. But right now, I want to focus on one reptile only, Anna. It's no secret that she has a very high opinion of herself. She is quite fond of telling me so when I visited Peru. She thinks she's rather pretty, and I quite agree. In spite of her heavy body, Anna is a very good swimmer. Unlike some of her reptilian relatives, she is an aquatic snake, preferring swamps and rivers to land. All right, boys and girls, let's pretend we don't know what the word aquatic means right here in this paragraph I just finished on page 81. We're going to get out our Post-it notes and practice using the context clues here hiding in this little paragraph to help us figure out the word. So let's take a look here. Well, the word aquatic, that's my unknown word. Well, I know in the beginning of the paragraph they said, in spite of her heavy body, Anna is a very good swimmer. That's a clue. Anna is a very good swimmer. Also in the sentence, after the word aquatic, they mentioned swamps and rivers. So that leads me to believe that aquatic has something to do with the water, because swimming, swamps, and water and rivers all have water in common. So, on 3 Post-it notes, I've written my unknown word, aquatic. I wrote clues from the text, Anna is a good swimmer, and I wrote swamps and rivers, and then my prediction was having to do with water. Aquatic must have something to do with water because these are the clues in the story I'm reading. So now, I'm going to get out of my seat and I'm going to go post them on the chart in front of the room that looks like this. See my Post-it notes I put up there? Now I'm going to get back to my reading and let's read another paragraph and see if we can find some words that we can use these context clues on. Okay, I've got my Post-it notes lined up over here and I'm ready to read this paragraph. Snakes often have a bad reputation. Some snakes are poisonous, releasing poisonous liquid called venom when they bite. Anna's teeth are actually quite small and she is not venomous, so you need not worry about that. However, some people fear anacondas because they are members of a family of snakes called constrictors. Does anyone know what that means? Constrictors catch and kill their prey by coiling or wrapping around to prey and squeezing them very tightly. Okay. Let's pretend someone in the class doesn't know what the word coiling means right here at the end of that paragraph. I'm going to put that as the unknown word on one of my Post-it notes. Coiling. Now, I need to look for some of those context clues that tell me what coiling means. Well, I know that it has to do with killing their prey or catching and killing their prey. So I'm going to make a note of that on this Post-it note. Catching, or they use the word catch and kill their prey by coiling. Oh, look at this, comma, or wrapping. Oh, wrapping. That's a nice clue. around to prey and squeezing them very tightly. Squeezing must be squeezing. That sounds like a clue. So now let's look at this one here. I want to bring this one to the front. Order, bring to front. So now here's my prediction. I think that the word coiling means wrapping around and squeezing. All right, I have my 3 Post-it notes. Oops, didn't mean to do that. I have my 3 Post-it notes here, and I'm going to post them. Do you remember where we're going to put our 3 Post-it notes when we're done? We're not going to leave them in the book. We're going to put them over here on this chart, but we'll put our Post-it notes down below. And now let's continue with our reading. See if we can find more words that we can use those context clues for. First, I need to get 3 more Post-it notes. 1, 2, oops. And get them close to me on my page so that I can look for those context clues. Well, Mr. Nelson, that's not the right place to put them. We can't read the words if we do that. Let's put the unknown word one up here, and then maybe we'll put this one over here. Whoops, forgot the title. And maybe this one, because it's in the middle of the words, we could put over here. Okay, now let's keep reading. So when we left off, it said, Anaconda's jaws open so wide that they can swallow animals whole. Fish, caiman, even jaguars and small deer. The anaconda's powerful muscles crush the bones of its prey as it constricts. Once swallowed, the anaconda slowly digests its meal. Uh-oh, some of you look fearful. Don't worry, you're safe. Anacondas don't live where you live in North America. You'll find them far, far away on the continent of South America. That's where I met Anna. Anna was sure to tell me that as far as she knows, there is no documented record of an anaconda ever killing a man, woman, or child. She and all anacondas are nocturnal animals, and they hunt at night, eating frogs, toads, birds, fish, and turtles. She doesn't have to hunt very often because one animal will satisfy her appetite for a long time. Well, that's a lot of information about Anna's characteristics, the ways by which scientists classify her as belonging to the animal class called reptiles or reptilia. Anna and other reptiles share some common characteristics with amphibians. Many scientists believe reptiles evolved from amphibians. Reptiles are all vertebrates because they all have backbones, and they are all cold-blooded because their internal temperature changes with their surroundings. All right, boys and girls, I found a few words here that I think we could use for our unknown word exercise and use some context clues. Let's try this one here, reptilia. That's a new word. I'm going to go up here and write it on my Post-it note. You write it on one of your Post-it notes too. Reptilia. Now I need to look for clues in the text. I'm going to read a little bit before and a little after. Well, that's a lot of information about Anna's characteristics, the ways by which scientists classify her as belonging to the animal class called reptiles. Oh, I remember when they say called, They're giving me a definition. So there must be a clue there for between reptilia and the word reptiles. So I'm going to put reptiles there. Oh, and here's another clue. Anna and other reptiles. So we're talking about scientists classifying animals. All those clues lead me to believe here's my prediction. My prediction is that the word reptilia must be the scientific name for reptiles. Okay, go ahead and pick up your 3 Post-it notes and go post them on the chart like this. Okay, let's keep reading this page. Now, we had left off right here. Most reptiles can adjust their body temperatures by basking in the sun or staying warm, or by hiding under a rock to stay cool. Just like amphibians, reptiles live on land and in water. However, these 2 groups do, of course, have their differences. Amphibians depend upon water to stay alive much more so than reptiles. Amphibians' thin, wet, slimy skin needs moisture to absorb oxygen from the air, but reptiles' skin is waterproof. Unlike toads and salamanders, Anna and other reptiles do not breathe through their skin, which is hard, dry, and scaly. They use only their lungs to breathe air, which means they are able to withstand very harsh dry weather, conditions under which amphibians would not be able to survive. Of course, because they have lungs, this also means that reptiles cannot stay underwater very long without coming up to the surface to breathe. Amphibians usually spend part of their lives entirely in water, but this is not true of reptiles as a group. Whereas amphibians begin life with gills, reptiles are born with lungs and are never dependent upon gills for breathing. Remember how different baby tadpoles look from adult toads? This is not the case for reptiles. Baby reptiles usually look a lot like their parents. They do not undergo metamorphosis the way amphibians do. Okay, let's keep reading. This is really cool. Look at all those photos. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the animals that belong to the animal group classified as reptiles. These include lizards, geckos, iguanas, and chameleons. Unlike snakes, most lizards have 4 legs. Chameleons have a keen sense of sight and very long tongues. Their brilliant colors, all shades of pink, blue, red, orange, turquoise, and green, help them camouflage when they come face to face with their enemies. Earth's largest living lizard is the Komodo dragon. It can grow to be 10 feet long and may weigh as much as 150 pounds. These giant island carnivores eat animals as large as goats, pigs, and deer. Saltwater crocodiles are the largest reptiles on Earth, some weighing up to 1 ton. Looking like very large lizards, crocodiles make their homes in tropical climates and are often seen floating like logs in the water with only their nostrils, eyes, and ears showing. Like Anna, they are nocturnal hunters, hunting at night. Crocodiles have the most powerful bite in the entire animal kingdom and are fierce hunters, living off fish and small mammals. Some live to be more than 100 years old. Okay. Let's get some Post-it notes out and see if we can figure out what this word fierce means. So I'm going to go get my Post-it notes. Oops. And I'm going to put my Post-it notes on the page. Let's see. I don't even have to move them because the sentence I want is right down here at the bottom, fierce. That's my unknown word, so I'm going to copy it onto this Post-it note here. Fierce. F-I-E-R-C-E. Now I need to look for some clues from the text. I'm going to start with the beginning of the sentence and then do the sentence after. Crocodiles have the most powerful bite in the entire animal kingdom and are fierce hunters, living off fish and small mammals. Well, fierce. It must have something to do with biting and power. Powerful bite. I'm going to put that here. Powerful bite. Are there any more clues? Ooh. Hunters. So fierce must have something to do with powerful, biting, and being a hunter. Okay, here's my prediction. I think fierce means to be a powerful hunter. That's my prediction. Now, what I want you to do is take your Post-it notes that you just completed, just like me, and put them on this chart up in the front of the room. Okay. Let's keep reading. Alligators resemble crocodiles, but they are usually less aggressive or boldly forceful and live in freshwater habitats. Can you tell the difference between an alligator and a crocodile? Alligators usually have a wide, rounded U-shaped snout, and crocodiles tend to have longer, more pointed V-shaped snouts. Okay, so an alligator has a wide, rounded, so this must be the alligator and that must be the crocodile. I would want to have neither one come to my house for dinner. Okay, let's keep reading. Look at these reptiles side by side. Chameleons, Komodo dragons, crocodiles, and alligators. What do you notice about their skin? Is it rough or smooth? Does it look thick or thin? Remember when I mentioned that reptile skin is waterproof and that it is hard, thick, and scaly? Their type of scaly skin protects them from overheating, and because their skin is waterproof, it keeps water inside their bodies. Because reptile skin is very sensitive to or easily affected by temperature, it becomes hot or cold very quickly when exposed to sun or shade. Like many amphibians, some reptiles shed their skin. Many lizards and snakes shed their skin several times a year as they grow. Snakes do not eat their shed skin the way amphibians do. Turtles and tortoises are the only reptiles with bony shells as part of their skeletons. Their backbones are actually fused to their shells. These shells may be flat or domed. Turtles have softer shells so they can swim faster, but land-dwelling tortoises need hard, leathery shells to protect them from predators. Their legs vary in appearance depending on where they live as well. Sea turtles have oar-shaped flippers for moving through water effectively. Many turtles have claws, which help them dig, and pond turtles also have webs between probably their toes or something. We'll find that out on the next page. Hey, boys and girls, I want to check out and see if we can use context clues to figure out this word here, shed. Remember, it says, like many amphibians, some reptiles shed their skin. I'm going to see if we can use context clues to figure out what that is. Okay, so let's get our 3 Post-it notes out. You get yours, I'll get mine. And let's go back to the text. And I want to figure out what this word shed is. Okay, so I'm going to move my Post-it notes up a little. Oh, a little more. And do you remember my word right here, shed? Okay, we're going to write it on our Post-it note. Are you ready? Shed. You can even sound it out. S-H-E-D. Now, let's get our clues. Clues from the text. Well, like many amphibians, some reptiles shed their skin. Okay, well, one clue is it has to do with skin. Many lizards and snakes shed their skin several times as they grow. Okay, grow. Snakes do not eat their shed skin the way amphibians do. And it's something you can eat. Oh. Huh. So, as the animal grows, they have to do something with their skin so that they can grow, but they don't eat it the way that amphibians do. Okay, here's my prediction. I think shed means to take off skin that is too small so they can grow. I'm going to have to look that one up. Okay, so after you finish copying this onto your Post-it notes, go ahead and post them on the context clues chart. All right, let's read the final page of this read aloud. So we had said many turtles have claws which help them dig, and pond turtles also have webs between their claws to effectively maneuver or move through water. Land tortoises, like the giant Galapagos, have huge column-shaped legs with claws. Whoa. These claws help them dig into the ground to move across it. Some turtle species live for more than a century. That's a very long time indeed. Body coverings are an important difference between amphibians and reptiles. Another thing that sets the two groups apart is their eggs. Sorry, I almost said legs. Their eggs. Remember the picture that showed strands of thousands of soft eggs that Tabitha Toad laid in the pond? Most reptiles lay far fewer eggs, and they lay their eggs in nests on land. Membranes, soft outer coverings that provide protection and also help to hold in necessary water for eggs to grow, usually coat the inside of reptilian eggs. In most reptile species, the eggs are also covered in leathery calcified shells. A few snakes and lizards give birth to fully formed live young instead of laying eggs. The garter snake, a snake that is right here in North America, is one of these exceptions to the rule. So is the Solomon Island skink, a lizard whose habitat is near the continent of Australia. Like amphibians, reptiles live all over the world. They prefer hot, low areas like rainforests, prairies, deserts, and oceans. But they can be found everywhere except the cold South Pole. If you are as fascinated as I am with reptiles and amphibians, you may want to think about becoming a herpetologist. Yes, indeed, herpetologist is the name given to a scientist who specializes in herpetology, the study of certain crawling animals, specifically reptiles and amphibians. Well, there's a job you could have if you like reptiles and amphibians. With more than 5,600 species of lizards alone, that should keep you busy for a lifetime. Okay, boys and girls, don't forget to put your Post-it notes up on the context clues poster in the columns at the front of the room so that we can discuss all those context clues you now know how to use. Bye for now.